Hi, this is Pawan here for Chords.com, and I'm going to show you how to play guitar chords for the song Na Tum Jaano Na Hum from the film Kaho Na Pyar Hai. I'm going to show you the chords which you need to know. Then I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show it both in open chords and bar chords. Then I will show you in a little bit of detail the strumming pattern and how you can play along with the song. And once we figure that out, we're going to play along with the backing track. That's the song itself. So before I show you the chords, let's make sure our guitars are in sync and they're tuned correctly. So I'm going to play the open note of the fifth string, which is an A. The song is in A major. So let's play A over here. So now that our guitars are hopefully in tune, and remember this is a standard 8 tuning which I have given you. If your guitar is not sounding the same here, then make sure you tune it if you want to play along with me. So the song is in A, and let me now show you the chord that you need to know to play with the song. In open chords, it will be A major here. You need to know D major. You need to know E. These are three pretty straightforward chords. You need to know two more chords. One is C sharp minor, and we're going to play it over here. So that's just the first 4 strings. We're not going to play the 5th and 6th string. So this is what we are doing here. The second finger is fretting the 4th string on the 2nd fret. The first finger is fretting the 3rd string on the 1st fret. The 3rd finger is fretting the 2nd string on the 2nd fret, and the 1st string is being played open. So this is C sharp minor, and it's easy to switch from A to C sharp minor over here. You also need to know B minor, and for B minor we'll only be using these 4 strings over here. So we're not going to play 5th and 6th. So it's just the 4th string on the 4th fret, the 3rd string on the 4th fret, the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, and the 1st string on the 2nd fret. So that's B minor. If you are comfortable playing bar chords, then we'll be playing A major over here. We'll be playing C sharp minor here. For D major, you can play it here, or I guess I'll pretty much be playing it over here. This is not really a bar chord, but it is a movable shape, and I find it quite convenient to play when I'm playing the key of A over here, because I'm going to move from D to E major over here instead of moving from D to E major over here. And this is also fine, except that the E major here has some very high notes, and it would be nice if you could play A, C sharp minor, D, and E over here. We also need to know B minor, so that was pretty much the same as we saw with the open chords, except that this will be a bar chord, so this is B minor. So once again, A major, C sharp minor, D major, E major, and B minor. Now the strumming pattern I'm going to show you in a very simple way. If you want to get your timing right and you want a detailed explanation, check out our website. We also have a detailed lesson on how to play this particular pattern. But let me first show you how it will sound at the original speed, and then I'll slow it down and I'll tell you step by step what are the strokes you need to know. So I'm going to play it in A major, which is here as an open chord, and this is how it will sound as it is in the song. Yeah. Now let me play that very slowly so you can see what I'm doing. So what we're doing is we have 3 downstrokes initially, followed by 3 upstrokes and another downstroke. So once again, I'm going to play it slowly, and then I'll gradually increase the speed so you can practice it along with me. So let's try once again in A major. So So that was pretty much the rhythm, the pattern which you're going to play, where you had 3 downstrokes, 3 upstrokes, and 1 downstroke. But really, if you want to get your timing right, you need to understand that this rhythm is really consisting of 16 strokes, and all we are doing is we are not hitting the strings on some of those strokes, and we are hitting the strings on some of the other strokes. So by that I really mean is your right hand continues to move down and up 16 times, 8 times down, 8 times up, alternating. But it's just that on some of those movements, your hand connects with the strings or hits them harder as opposed to the other strokes. Now, we have a detailed lesson on this if you really want to go through each and every step and you're finding it very difficult to get this rhythm right. But let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to play A major again. This time I'll use the bar chord here. And I'm going to play it first with 16 strokes, all of them with equal pressure on the strings. So 8 down and 8 up alternating. So it should sound something like this. So those were 16 strokes once again. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put stress, or we're going to accent some of those strokes and play either play the other strokes very lightly, let the fingers touch the strings perhaps, or if you can, don't hit the strings at all. So we're going to put more stress on the strokes, the stroke numbers 1, 3, 5, which are down strokes, 8, 10, 12, which are upstrokes, and 13, which is a downstroke. And I'm going to call out the stroke numbers. So I'm going to call out the numbers where I'm going to put the stress on the strings. So once again, out of those 16 strokes, let's take a look at what it's going to sound like if we put stress on strokes 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, and 13. So it should sound something like this, and I'm going to call out the stroke numbers. 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, 13. 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, 13. So if you keep playing this continuously, basically this is going to produce the rhythm which you learned earlier, where you had 3 downstrokes, 3 upstrokes, and 1 downstroke. So this really gives you the entire pattern as you should be playing it with your hand. And if you can understand this, the biggest advantage is that you can actually start experimenting with this and put stress on some other strokes, or not put stress on some of the strokes which we put stress on right now, and you can come up with a variation. So before I show you the song, this song has a very interesting progression which is used almost throughout the song, and it would be nice if you can practice that. And then I'll of course be showing you the entire song. So this progression is not used everywhere, but it would be nice if you could learn this ahead. So the progression is, if you are playing in open chords, the chords are A minor, C sharp minor, D, and E. So it should sound something like this. Now you would have noticed something, we are not playing all of the strokes on the same chord. So we had seen 3 downstroke, 3 upstrokes, and 1 downstroke. What we are really doing is we are breaking it up, and we are switching the chord right in between that set which I showed you. So for instance, when we are moving from A to C sharp minor, we are actually playing A for the first 3 downstrokes, and then for the remaining 3 up and 1 downstrokes, we are playing C sharp minor. And we are also doing the same thing for the switch between D and E. So as opposed to playing all of those strokes on A, which would sound like this, we are playing A and then switching to C sharp minor in the middle of that set. So it sounds something like this. And the same thing with D and E. Instead of sounding, those are all of the strokes being played on D, we'll be playing. And if you're playing bar chords, you'll be playing it over here. So A major to C sharp minor to D to E. So that's pretty much the chord progression which I wanted to show you. Now let's try and play along with the song, and let's see how it sounds.
मचलती है पवन क्यों झूमे है गगन क्यों मचलता है ना तुम जानो ना तुम जानो ना क्यों आती है बहार क्यों लुटता है करार क्यों होता है प्यार ना तुम जानो ना तुम जानो ना
So that was the strumming pattern for the mukhra or the chorus of the song. The verse or the stanza or the antra uses a slightly different, well not slightly, it's a fairly different rhythm, and it keeps switching between the new rhythm which I'm going to show you now and what you played earlier. So let's just learn that strumming pattern which is used in the verse. So again with A major, it should sound something like this, and then I'll break it down and I'll tell you what strokes to play. So with A major, so really all we're doing is we're playing 3 strokes, but and the strokes are going to be like this. It would be nice if you could play the first 2 strokes on the lower strings, those are the strings which are closer to the 6th string, and the 3rd stroke on the higher string, so those are the strings closer to the 1st string, so it will sound something like this. And you can also use bar chords for this pattern. With bar chords, pretty much it's going to be the same pattern, but the advantage is that you can use a muting effect to make it sound even better. So let me show you what it's going to sound like. Instead of like this. So the first 2 strokes are pretty much being played the way they were being played earlier. On the 3rd stroke, what we do is we mute the string. So instead of sounding this way, it should sound like this. And what we are doing is essentially we are lifting the left fingers off the fretboard as soon as the stroke is completed without letting go of the string. So instead of sounding a full body sound like this, it gets muted as soon as the stroke is completed. Just one more thing, when we begin this pattern, we start with just 2 strokes and then we keep repeating with 3 strokes. So it should sound something like this. So as you noticed, as you keep playing this, you'll always be playing 3 strokes at a time, and that's like this. But when you start off, it's just 2 strokes. So once we play along with the song, you'll know what I'm trying to say over here. So let's try and play along with the verse.